Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever it is that you are watching me today. Thank you for joining me. I am Wanda L. Scott, and I come on every Thursday to give you a mindset pivot so we can stop just surviving and learn how to thrive. Welcome to Thrive Thursdays. The question every Thursday is, are you ready to thrive? Because I know it's Thursday, you probably flip back into survival mode. We make it so far into the week and we feel like we are barely hanging on. And so I always seek each week, what can I talk about? Because there are so many things that stop us from thriving. And I'm so excited for the month of June that we're going to be focusing on finances. And so I have no other than the amazing wisdom filled Troy Holt, a financial educator who's going to join us every Thursday this month and give us a quick mindset pivot so in the area of finances we can thrive and stop just surviving. So Troy, tell us quickly why you are qualified to talk to us about financial thriving.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say, Wanda, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. It's truly my honor, my pleasure to be here. And I just want to say that. And Wanda reached out to me and said, "Hey, let's collaborate. Want to bring me on?" I said, "Look, I said I trust you, I respect you, and we from the same hometown. So yes, it's on. So I want to add that. But anyway, yeah. For those that don't know, my name is Troy. I own a company called Troy Holt Consulting. I'm the CEO. CEO stands for Chief Encouragement Officer. My title is my personality. I'm a certified financial educator. I've been in this industry about 22 years, and I'm on a mission to eliminate financial illiteracy. And what this mindset thing, one of the things people ask me is what is one simple or small step that a person can do? And what I tell people, I was telling Wanda, we were kind of talking a little bit earlier. I came across a article on LinkedIn, well, not an article, a post, and the guy said he was doing some research, and one of the things he said that people are making, some people, one third of the people in America making $250,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. And what that kind of told me, and what the one simple thing that people can do is to pay yourself first. Before you pay bills, before you spend, it's to pay yourself first. It's a simple, it's a strategy, it's a principle. But if you start paying yourself first, you will see that in the long term, and this is not going to be something that's going to be overnight. You see in the long term that it will work in your favor, and it's a mindset change. It's changing how you think to say, hey, I can't pay all the bills first. I have to pay myself. And it doesn't, the amount is not the issue. It's the principle, the strategy, the discipline to do that.
All right, awesome. So we have it. We have the one piece of information that we're going to talk about tonight. So, my question to you, Troy, we explore three themes:
Mhm.
mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, how we make that pivot. So, my first question to you is mentally, how do people, a practical way that people can mentally pivot into paying themselves first?
Well, one way mentally they can do that is to actually start by setting up on automatic uh, draft where have a separate account. So you got to change your mentality and say, hey, look, I've got to put something away. I've got to pay myself first. So set it up on in another account on an automatic draft. Don't use the same account, a separate account, automatic draft. And what that does is it's like it's out of sight, out of mind. So you got to change your mindset to say, hey, this is out of sight, out of mind. And once you get in the habit of doing that, Again, the amount is not the issue. It's the discipline and the principle. And you have to start from somewhere. Even if you start with $1,
Okay.
it's again, it's not the amount. But if you can't do $10 if you can't do $1. So if you start with $1 and just constantly do that, then you'll see that it'll grow and it'll evolve, and then going into emotional, you'll start feeling emotional. You start feeling excited. You start feeling encouraged because you're doing something that's changing your financial situation. Small increments,
Okay.
but it's
Yeah.
changing your situation.
Okay, so we got mentally, we have emotionally, how this is affecting a practical way to do it. So let's close out with spiritually. How does this look spiritually?
So Wanda and I, we both are people of faith. So I hope no one gets offended on this. But one of the things with spiritual, we want to put God first, and so we put God first. And there are some that don't believe in tithes and offering, but I do. And so you want to set aside first to God. So you want to set aside whatever is for God first, and then you want to set aside the other for yourself. So make sure you take care of God, because if whatever we put before God becomes our God. So we want to make sure God is first, and we set aside that from a spiritual standpoint to honor God, and that's through tithes and offerings. Offering tithes is 10%. Offering, I'm at to a point where I'm trying to get where it's 20% with me, 10% for tithes and 10% for offering. So that's where I'm trying to get. I'm close there, but that's where I'm trying to get where both of them is up to 20%.
Okay, thank you for that. So let's bring it all together quickly. So we looked at mentally,
Mm-hmm.
just do it, just start, even if it's $1.
Right.
Emotionally, you start to feel better because you're getting in the habit and it's working for you and you're seeing it.
Yes.
And if you can't do $1, you can't do $10. And spiritually, we have to think about that tithe and what our love and honor of God does with that 10% tithe. But tell me this. So two situations.
Mm-hmm.
I am an entrepreneur, so I'm running my own business. So what if my money is not steady? What if I'm not getting an every week paycheck? How do I pay myself? How do I
Yeah.
stay committed to that?
So I would recommend you set it up on a percentage. So instead of setting it on amount, set it on a percentage. So let's say it's 1%. So every time you get something as an entrepreneur, set aside 1%. So 1% is going to be, we got God, but I'm gonna set aside 1% for myself. So
Okay.
and then as time goes, 2%, and then 3%. So set a percentage. Again, the amount of the percentage is not always important, but it's the mindset and the discipline that what you're trying to make it where a habit, where it's automatically that you don't even think about it. It just happened, and that takes time.
Okay, so I'm working. I'm used to getting an every week paycheck,
Mhm.
every month paycheck, every 2 week paycheck. But I've known from the past that that money just is constantly out the door. I got bills overdue. How do I manage that?
So let me ask that with a question. So you got a bill, and the bill is let's say it's a electric bill. I'm just throwing a bill out there, and let's say it's $200, and you pay the $200, but you don't have anything. But let's say you pay 190 and you set aside 10. Do you think that your electric is going to be cut off if you pay the 190?
I hope not. I don't
Right.
think they will because usually they just happy to get something,
Correct.
especially that
Correct.
close to the
Correct.
amount.
Correct. So what I'm saying is there's ways that you may want to look at, because remember, it's the mindset. So if you don't change the mindset, if the mind don't start, uh, uh, first we our mind, and then action comes. So with you setting us, okay, so I'm gonna take $10 from the electric bill, pay myself. You get in the habit of that, your mindset have changed. Now you start thinking of other ways that you can generate paying yourself. But if you don't start to change your mind somewhere, then you'll keep doing the same thing. And the definition of sanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. Uh,
Yeah. Well, Troy, thank you. You gave us a mental, emotional, and spiritual mindset pivot to paying yourself first.
yes.
As we close out, Troy, quickly, what is the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach me probably now is LinkedIn. I am very active on LinkedIn, very heavily on LinkedIn. You can also reach out to me on Instagram and Twitter, but I'm heavily, probably the best way is to connect with me on LinkedIn.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Troy. We will be back next Thursday. Remember, every Thursday in the month of June, our Thrive Thursday is going to give you one quick mindset pivot so you can thrive and not just survive when it comes to your finances. Thank you so much, Troy, and I'll see you next week. So thank you. Just remember that I come to you every Thursday live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So follow me, connect with me, Wanda L. Scott, and at Wanda Empowers. Look, it's in the description. Thank you so much. And remember, you can thrive and not just survive.